It's no secret that the Steve Harvey Show became a cultural touchstone for many during its 6-season run from 1996 to 2002. On the surface, it was a feel-good sitcom filled with laughs, lessons, and a whole lot of charm. But behind the scenes, there was drama, tension, and more than a few eyebrow-raising moments that have only come to light years later. What really went down on set? And how did the relationships between cast members, especially Terri, Vaughn, and Steve Harvey, shape the dynamic of the show? Let's dive into the story of how this beloved series came to be, the controversies that brewed behind the scenes, and the personalities that made it unforgettable.
Steve's always been cocky. Always. The conversations me, him, Wendy used to have on set, it's the same shit.
Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah.
Steve would go off and do...
When the Steve Harvey Show was first pitched, there wasn't a clear vision of who Steve Harvey's character would be. In fact, the original idea was for him to play an English teacher, but that didn't sit right with anyone involved. As one of the show's creators reportedly joked, "I don't think you'd want Steve Harvey teaching anyone English." So they decided to tailor the character to Harvey himself, leaning into his larger-than-life personality and unique sense of humor. The result? Steve Hightower, a washed-up musician who once sang with a group reminiscent of the Temptations. His character was now a former star, trying to make ends meet as a music teacher at a high school where his boss happened to be a woman he used to tease mercilessly as a kid. That playful tension between Steve and Principal Regina Greer, played by Wendy Raquel Robinson, became one of the show's most memorable dynamics. But let's not forget about Terri Vaughn, who joined the cast as Lita Al Jenkins, the school's administrative assistant. Vaughn brought a bold energy to the show that resonated with fans, but behind the scenes, her experience wasn't always smooth sailing. Playing Lita came with its own set of challenges, particularly when it came to public perception. Vaughn later admitted that the character's outspoken and unapologetic attitude drew criticism from some viewers, who felt Lita was too loud or too much. Even organizations like the NAACP reportedly voiced concerns, arguing that the character leaned into stereotypes rather than breaking away from them. Vaughn, however, defended her portrayal, explaining that Lita represented real people she had grown up with. To her, bringing these personalities to life on screen wasn't about perpetuating stereotypes. It was about authenticity. "This is the voice for the girls I grew up with," she once said, highlighting how Lita gave a voice to women who are often overlooked or misunderstood.
He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed at all. He's still that same guy. I think he's in a different position now. And so I think that the position that he's in now, and of course, everybody grows in different directions.
Despite the backlash, Vaughn's portrayal of Lita earned her 3 Image Awards, proving that many fans connected with the character's rawness and humor. But this success didn't shield her from tension on set, especially when it came to her interactions with Steve Harvey. Vaughn later opened up about how Harvey's personality could be difficult to navigate at times. According to her, he's always been confident, borderline cocky, and that swagger sometimes clashed with her own approach to work. Vaughn recalled how Harvey would often comment on the way she and the other female cast members dressed during rehearsals. While Vaughn and her co-stars opted for comfortable outfits like sneakers and sweatpants to get through long days on set, Harvey would joke that they should look more put together. Vaughn found his remarks amusing, but also made it clear that she wasn't about to show up to work in heels and a dress, just to rehearse. She even joked, "I could never be with a guy like Steve. His expectations are too high."
Maybe if he talked about these same kind of things back then, it would have been the same view that you hear now.
Right.
But it was just back then, he didn't talk about that shit. There was no conversation of that.
Harvey's high standards weren't limited to wardrobe critiques. He was meticulous about the show's direction, which sometimes led to creative differences with the producers. While Harvey wanted to inject more serious storylines into the series, like tackling issues such as teen pregnancy or substance abuse, the network wasn't on board. They felt these topics were too heavy for a sitcom and preferred to keep the tone light and comedic. Harvey disagreed, famously saying, "You can make anything funny." This disconnect between Harvey's vision and the network's priorities created friction, and it was clear that Harvey wasn't always happy with the final product. In interviews, he admitted to feeling frustrated at times, particularly when he felt the show wasn't living up to its potential.
So I think what you're seeing is that's just another side of him. I think he's still that same smart Steve. He's still that. But now you're also seeing another side of him that he never had to show.
These creative tensions extended beyond the scripts. Vaughn hinted at a certain rigidity in Harvey's personality that sometimes made collaboration challenging. She described him as someone who has always been consistent in his demeanor, whether on set or in private conversations, but noted that his confidence could sometimes come across as arrogance. Vaughn also mentioned that Harvey's humor often walked a fine line, with jokes that could rub people the wrong way if not delivered in the right context. "He's always been cocky," she said, "but that's just who he is." Interestingly, Vaughn wasn't the only one who felt this way. Cedric the Entertainer, who played Harvey's best friend Cedric Robinson on the show, is one of Harvey's real-life closest friends. Yet even Cedric reportedly clashed with Harvey from time to time, though their disagreements were usually minor and resolved quickly. Their chemistry on screen, however, was undeniable, and their friendship became one of the show's strongest elements. Fans loved watching their banter, which often felt so natural it was hard to believe it was scripted.
That's funny that we want, especially our people, we want us to show humility all the time. And I think it's unfair. I really do. I think people should be who they are, and God makes everybody a little different. Some people are hugely, humble, and they operate in that space of...
Speaking of the script, the writing on The Steve Harvey Show wasn't always well received by critics. Early reviews slammed the series for relying on stereotypes and outdated humor, with some even calling it uninspired and predictable. But audiences saw something different. For them, the show was a breath of fresh air, a sitcom that celebrated Black culture while delivering laughs and life lessons in equal measure. Harvey's charisma and the cast's chemistry carried the show, even when the writing fell short. Over time, The Steve Harvey Show developed a loyal fan base that appreciated its mix of humor, heart, and musical flair.
And I hung the phone up, I went upstairs, I said, "Marjorie down," I said, "Marjorie, we got a problem." When I explained it to her, Marjorie started crying.
Music played a significant role in the series, thanks to Harvey's real-life love for singing. The fictional group Steve Hightower and the High Tops became a recurring element of the show, with Harvey frequently performing alongside his former bandmates, played by guest stars like Ronald Isley. These musical interludes added a unique layer to the sitcom, setting it apart from other shows of its time. Fans looked forward to seeing Steve Hightower step back into the spotlight, even if only for a few minutes. And these moments became some of the most memorable in the series.
Well, it looks like Harvey has found himself in some trouble again.
However, not all the memories from the set were positive. Behind the scenes, there were whispers of tension between Harvey and the producers over the show's creative direction. Harvey wanted more control over the storytelling, believing that he knew what his audience wanted better than anyone else. The producers, however, had their own ideas, and this power struggle reportedly created a strained working environment. While the cast remained professional, it was clear that the behind-the-scenes dynamics weren't always harmonious.
So happy to see you and talk to you. How have you been?
As the series progressed, new characters were introduced to keep the storylines fresh. Vaughn's character, Lita, became romantically involved with Cedric, leading to one of the show's most beloved subplots. Their relationship brought a new dimension to the series, and fans adored watching their journey from flirting to marriage to parenthood. Vaughn's real-life pregnancy was even written into the show, adding an extra layer of authenticity to her character's storyline. But even as the show continued to evolve, the cracks behind the scenes became harder to ignore. By the time the 6th season rolled around, it was clear that everyone involved was ready to move on. Harvey agreed to film a final batch of episodes to wrap up the series, but by then, the tension between him and the producers had reached a breaking point. In interviews, Harvey reflected on the cancellation with mixed emotions. On one hand, he was proud of what the show had accomplished. On the other hand, he felt it had ended too soon, leaving untapped potential on the table.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
And yet, for all its drama, both on and off screen, The Steve Harvey Show remains a beloved piece of television history. It introduced audiences to a cast of characters that felt relatable, funny, and human, flaws and all. It also marked a turning point in Harvey's career, launching him from stand-up comedian to household name. But as much as the show cemented his legacy, it also laid the groundwork for the controversies that would follow him in the years to come. Because if there's one thing Steve Harvey knows how to do, it's keep people talking. Now let's really get into the part everyone's been waiting for. Steve Harvey's life after The Steve Harvey Show. A whirlwind of success, scandals, and jaw-dropping rumors that have kept his name in the headlines for years. Because while his sitcom days may have ended, the drama in his personal and professional life was just getting started. From high-profile relationships to jaw-dropping accusations, Steve's journey has been anything but smooth sailing. And let's be honest, when it comes to celebrity gossip, few stories are as layered or as messy as his.
It's like haters. When you get haters, you know, people's opinion of you is none of your business. I have lots of haters.
For starters, Steve's love life has been a constant topic of fascination and controversy. His third and current wife, Marjorie Harvey, has been a major figure in his life since they married in 2007. But rumors about her past and their relationship have raised more than a few eyebrows. Let's talk about the whispers that have followed Marjorie for years. Whispers so loud they've practically been screaming. Before she became Mrs. Harvey, Marjorie had a very different life, one that was allegedly tied to some shocking circumstances. It's been widely speculated that Marjorie was previously married to not one, but two men who were reportedly involved in illegal activities. Her first husband, Jim Townsend, was sentenced to life in prison for his involvement in a high-stakes operation. And here's where it gets even wilder. Townsend himself has claimed that Marjorie was implicated in his case and only avoided legal troubles because of a deal he made with authorities.
I'm telling all, a lot of people, because everything been going across the internet is untruth,
After divorcing Townsend, Marjorie reportedly moved on to another relationship with Donnell Woods, who also found himself entangled in a similar lifestyle. The fact that both of Marjorie's previous partners were allegedly involved in such activities has fueled speculation about her own involvement. While there's no concrete evidence linking her to anything illegal, these connections have definitely cast a shadow over her sparkling public image. And when she married Steve Harvey, a man known for his clean-cut persona and motivational speeches, the contrast between her rumored past and their glamorous present became even more glaring.
Yeah, you got to understand, she's not going to be speaking on none of that because her whole thing is to hide her past.
But Marjorie's past isn't the only thing that sparked controversy. Over the years, there have been countless rumors about the state of her marriage to Steve. In 2023, the internet exploded with allegations that Marjorie had been unfaithful, reportedly getting involved with both the family's security guard and their personal chef. These claims were never substantiated, but that didn't stop them from dominating headlines and social media for weeks. Steve himself addressed the rumors during a comedy show, where he brushed them off and assured fans that his marriage was solid. Still, the whispers persisted, with fans and critics alike questioning whether there was more to the story than Steve or Marjorie were letting on.
But what would you say? What's been the key to our success?
The fact that you respect me and I respect you.
And then there's the financial side of things. Some reports have suggested that Marjorie's lavish lifestyle, her designer clothes, jet-setting vacations, and front-row seats at fashion shows, has put a strain on Steve's fortune. While Steve reportedly has a net worth in the hundreds of millions, maintaining such an extravagant lifestyle isn't cheap. Critics have speculated that Marjorie's spending habits could be a source of tension in their marriage, especially as Steve has faced his own legal and financial troubles over the years. Speaking of legal troubles, let's not forget about the infamous lawsuit involving Steve's second wife, Mary Shackford. Their divorce in 2005 was messy, to say the least. But the drama didn't end there. In 2011, Mary came forward with explosive allegations, claiming that Steve had been unfaithful during their marriage and had left her financially ruined. Things escalated further in 2017 when Mary filed a massive lawsuit against Steve, accusing him of emotional distress and other grievances. She even alleged that Steve had turned their son, Winton, against her. While the lawsuit was ultimately dismissed, the entire ordeal painted a less than flattering picture of Steve and added fuel to the fire for his critics.
Nothing like that, but I am disappointed in Marjorie because you don't sell out to family. Because Steve Harvey may dump you just like he did Mary the next day.
Mary's claims also reignited speculation about the timeline of Steve's relationships. According to her, Steve and Marjorie's romance began while he was still married to her, a claim that both Steve and Marjorie have denied. However, the fact that Steve reconnected with Marjorie so soon after his divorce from Mary raised plenty of eyebrows. Some have even suggested that Marjorie played a role in the breakdown of Steve's second marriage, though there's no concrete evidence to support.
But turns out, Steve Harvey is sending he's sending shots your way.
Steve Harvey was hating on me big time.
But wait, it doesn't stop there. Steve's name has also been linked to none other than Sean Diddy Combs, another larger-than-life figure with his own fair share of controversies. The connection between Steve and Diddy runs deeper than most people realize, and it's sparked plenty of speculation over the years. For one, both men have been spotted attending the same high-profile events and rubbing elbows with the same elite circles, but it's not just their social lives that have overlapped. There have been rumors that their business dealings might be intertwined as well.
So yeah, Marjorie, I guess she did what she felt as though she had to do. And I think she sold her soul to the devil.
Diddy's own life has been a roller coaster of accusations, lawsuits, and headline-grabbing incidents, some of which have reportedly involved figures from Steve's circle. While there's no clear evidence linking Steve to any of Diddy's controversies, the mere association has been enough to raise questions about the company Steve keeps. And let's not forget about the time Diddy was rumored to be romantically involved with Steve's stepdaughter, Lori Harvey. While neither Lori nor Diddy ever confirmed the relationship, photos of them vacationing together surface online, sparking outrage and disbelief among fans. Many wondered how Steve felt about the situation, though he remained tight-lipped and focused on his own projects. And Lori herself has been no stranger to controversy. As one of the most talked-about figures in the Harvey family, her dating life has often made headlines, from her rumored relationship with Diddy to her high-profile romances with other celebrities. While Lori has carved out a successful career as a model and influencer, her personal life continues to be a topic of public fascination, and by extension, a source of added scrutiny for Steve. But let's circle back to Steve's own controversies, because there's plenty more to unpack. In addition to his personal and marital drama, Steve has faced backlash for his behavior in the workplace. One of the most infamous incidents involved an email he reportedly sent to his staff outlining a strict set of rules for interacting with him. According to the leaked email, Steve asked his employees not to approach him in hallways, enter his dressing room uninvited, or even speak to him unless spoken to first. The email sparked outrage online, with many accusing Steve of being egotistical and out of touch. However, Steve defended the email, explaining that the rules were meant to help him maintain focus and avoid being ambushed during his busy schedule.
So I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this, he think he this. You don't even know me.
And then there's the infamous Miss Universe debacle of 2015, when Steve mistakenly announced the wrong winner during the live broadcast. The mix-up became an instant viral moment and turned Steve into the butt of countless jokes and memes. While he handled the situation with humor and grace, the incident added yet another layer to his already complex public persona.
So I just keep going through. But then I tell you something too, haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing something.
Perhaps one of the most surprising aspects of Steve's career is how he's managed to maintain his status as a motivational figure despite all the drama. His books, including Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, have been bestsellers, and his speeches about faith, perseverance, and success continue to inspire millions. But for every fan who sees Steve as a role model, there's a critic who questions whether his actions align with the values he preaches. From accusations of infidelity to allegations of mistreatment, Steve's life has been a constant balancing act between his public image and private controversies. And yet, through it all, Steve has remained one of the most recognizable figures in entertainment. His work as the host of Family Feud, The Steve Harvey Morning Show, and other projects has solidified his place in pop culture. But as his career continues to evolve, so do the questions surrounding his personal life. Will Steve ever address the rumors about his marriage to Marjorie? What's the real story behind his connections to figures like Diddy? And how does he navigate the tension between his public persona and the scandals that seem to follow him? Leave your thoughts and comments below. We'd love to hear your take on this ongoing saga. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more celebrity gossip and entertainment news. Goodbye for now.